We will start the session in 5 minutes. Sorry for the delay. Good afternoon, participants. Myself, librarian Ruta Purkule. I welcome you all for the fourth day of our 5-day national level FDP organized by Library Committee and ICOSC of Jnanganga Education Trust, Degree College of Arts, Commerce and Science. Today, we have Ravija Srivastav ma'am with us as a resource person. Ma'am, I heartily welcome you on the fourth-day session of our FDP.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am will be talking on digital footprints for librarians. I also like to thank Degree College Principal Ma'am for her Dr. Bhavika Karkeda for her constant support and guidance for arrangement of this type of seminars at FDPs. I would also like to thank IQSC Coordinator and Assistant Professor Tina Kodian Madam and all the library committee members, Assistant Librarian Shravani Korde. I will quickly introduce Ravija Madam. Ravija ma'am is a skilled image consultant and soft skill trainer. She has worked with many universities, corporate offices, institutions as a consultant to train and guide corporate employees, students, teachers, as well as librarians for image management, emotional intelligence, building soft skills, business etiquettes. She also conducts regular workshops on the above topics as well as she also works as a visiting faculty for library science students. Welcome you, ma'am,
Thank you so
for our
much.
fourth day session. I'm sure we all will be getting some different types of set of skills and knowledge through your lecture. Before starting with the session, I would just like to request all the participants to turn on their cameras so that we will take a few photographs for our memory and documentation. Yes, it's done. Thank you, participants. Ma'am, we can begin with the session now.
Okay. Thank you so much for that introduction. And I'll just open my PPT and start
Ye-
sharing.
Yes. Card.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. And I hope um, I'm expecting that a lot of participants here are from the library science background. But then I was not sure because it was expected that there'll be some students in general. And hence, I have the presentation that I have today here is of a general kind so that everybody understands. So not much of library science. I think teachers are also here, not only from the library science background. That's the reason. It's a general thing, and also because digital footprint is a topic which applies to each and every one of you, irrespective of what field you're working in. And a general overview of what digital footprints look like is an essential knowledge part for each one of us today. So I would like to name today's session as what do you get when you Google yourself? So by digital footprint, what we mean is how do we look like or how do we appear to be like on the digital platform? Not just one, but the entire internet universe, the entire digital universe. How do you look like? So in real world, we do recognize each other by our faces, by our voice, the work that we have done. Each and every time we have met people, that is how people recognize us, right? But in the digital world, it's a bit complex. It's a bit different. Although elements remain the same, but still the platform is different. The way people look at us is different. The way we interact with people is different. So there are differences and similarities from our real world, between our real world and the digital world. So the best way to figure out how do we look like, because we don't know, we just keep on acting, we keep on using, we keep on sharing and commenting and talking to each other or not talking to each other, sharing our pictures and all of that, but we never look back what is the kind of impression that we are creating. So it is a big PPT because there is a lot of information, but I'll just I'll try to cover as many points as I can. 1.5 hours is too less a time to cover everything about digital footprints. So the question that we need to ask ourselves is, what do you get when you Google yourself? So today is not the time, it's a lecture mode, but in a workshop, I would have asked you to Google now. So when you go back from here, just Google yourself and look it up. What are the links that you get on the first page of Google search when you write your name and hit on the search button? It is important that the way we want to look on the internet platform, we get the same kind of picture. So you can get in pairs and ask your friends and search each other's names also and figure out what do you look like. To begin with understanding digital footprints, what are they actually? They are the records and traces that we leave behind on the internet. So whatever we do, even a small click, And the best way to explain this is, or to understand the intensity of digital footprint is, remember when we are searching for a particular concept, a particular topic or anything, what happens is the moment we try to move on to another page, you start getting pop-ups related to what you were searching earlier. On e-commerce platforms, what happens is when you are, if you're looking for, say, for example, on Amazon or on Myntra, you are looking for a nice dress, and you click on, you enter a search term for a kurta or something, and then not before not even you have moved from that page and you start getting pop-ups. Even when you close the page, it keeps following you. Later also you get the pop-ups. Nowadays the impact is so intense with AI and everything. It is so intense that even if you're talking and your phone is there, it is listening to our conversations. So it picks up keywords from our conversations, and next time when you open up or when you're surfing on your phone, your smartphone, you get links, you get pop-ups related to the keywords that you've used in a conversation before. So digital technology is so much ingrained in our lives, it's so much present in our lives, it's so much active in our lives. We need to be really careful of what we are leaving behind. It is a kind of legacy for the generations to come to see what we have done with the digital world, or in the digital world, how we have behaved, what we have done, how much we have contributed. These footprints are permanent. We might be in an illusion that if we delete a message, it goes away. It doesn't go away. It remains there forever. Some of the things which you have done on the internet are not even visible today to you, maybe. So some are explicit, some are implicit. You click on something, you forget, and still that memory is somewhere retained on the internet. So it is permanent. Your digital footprints are permanent. They are explicit. Some of them are implicit. You are not even able to figure out what you have done in the past. You may not remember. Some have benefits, but then all the activities that you conduct in the digital world are not beneficial all the time. We have heard about cases, harmful uses of internet, where people have been in problems. So it is, of course, the kind of problems we'll discuss a little later, but there have been problems where the digital world activity has played with people's lives. Then it does, as I said, we are leaving a legacy when we are working in the digital world. Footprints act as a legacy for the future to come and see what we've done. And in the present, what we do, and when people look for us on the Google or any other platform or anywhere, they get an impression of what we are. So this is an online reputation and image that we are creating all the time. That's the reason when I talk about personal branding, I always say to my students, the last leg or the last component, and a very important component of your personal branding is digital footprint. What kind of legacy are you leaving behind? So when we say benefits, and costs, when we are trying to log into say an account, for example your Facebook or any other account, you don't have to enter your details again and again. For example, just now when I logged in, I had to enter my name in the form, and my name now appears on the screen automatically. I don't have to tell anyone that I'm Ravija Srivastav. Anyone who joins later will also know this is Ravija Srivastav talking. The same way I can read your names as well on this on your screen boxes. So if I try to talk to you, I can take your name. I know who this person is. This is one of the benefits, that once you enter a data, once you enter any kind of personal details, it remains there The same holds true for our passwords. We don't have to log into our mail accounts and all other accounts on our own devices every day. Once you have entered, once you logged in, it remains there. It remembers. So computers have a bigger memory than us. They keep a track of everything that we do. So those are the benefits. It saves time for us, time and effort, and yeah, it saves us from remembering everything. But then the costs are too high. The websites that you use, the things that you have searched for, then whoever is connected to you, the entire social circle, your family, your connections, your conversations, everything is there, and anybody who can have access to it will be able to harm you if they want to. So you may wonder, how is it that today, this is a very, sorry for that. Um, how is it that our digital footprints have grown so big? They have become this size and they will continue to grow. They've sometime about 2, 3 years back, they may have been very small, but today they are too big for us to control. So it is like you may have heard about the stories in our legends. There are stories of big, giants and huge people. Their footprints, it used to be big. It's just like that. On the digital platform, our footprints are too big than our actual feet. So your Facebook pictures, your Instagram reels, your pictures, your posts that you have shared, the comments that you have made, the trolling that you have done on Twitter, and all the comments and uh, retweets on Twitter, etc. Plus, every click that you make on the e-commerce sites, all of them, and many, many more things that you do. The calls that you make, the calls that you don't make. If you have just searched the number and not made the call, that also gets recorded. If you have just searched a product and not bought it, that also gets recorded. All the activity that you do, the moment from, as I said, not even you've done anything, you're just talking in front of your phone, and a lot of things get recorded, and it remains in the memory of your phone that you were talking to somebody. So AI is getting stronger and stronger into the digital world, and from our real world, data is being picked up, stored in the digital world, and that is how our footprints are becoming bigger and bigger day by day. So it's not just one word that we all are scared of is hacker or hacking. There are so many cases when bank accounts are hacked, when personal details are hacked. The well-known things are well-known incidents or accidents. We tend to remember some months ago, there was an uproar from the celebrities, especially Bollywood. They claimed that there is, fake uh, reels, fake avatars created, fake, profiles created, and a lot of activities taking place. So this deep fake is a concept which in real life it used to be called as impersonating somebody, or taking the life of someone else, or the you know मुखौटा लगाकर किसी का और हम उसकी जगह पर काम करते. You must have seen those incidents in movies. They used to be sometimes hilarious, sometimes really dangerous. But in the world of in the digital world, this is really dangerous. I don't see any, or there are not many instances where it has turned out to be, hilarious. It is always dangerous. So hacking, deepfake, using AI for wrong purposes is a trend which we need to be very careful about. In when we say use of, so the thing is, we keep telling our children especially, that don't use so much of, don't spend too much of time on the internet. The reason is that, surfing or watching reels, forget about surfing on the internet, just watching reels, which is a big activity among kids these days. Things like this, or the new allurements like reels. What they are doing is they are getting you hooked onto the devices. And the more time you spend on it, whether surfing or watching reels or on the social media, any kind of social media, all that data, unknowingly you are revealing a lot about yourself. So I was talking about the kids, you as an adult, as a grown up, may still take some steps, preventive measures, to not reveal a lot of things about you, but not so about the kids. So um, in our lives at different times, we have to monitor what should we be doing, and what should we allow our near and dear ones to do. So when you are surfing, or when you are just using the digital network, you need to be careful about how far you have to go. So this is just an example, where, as I said earlier, you visit a website and you get pop-ups from the other websites. So what we need to be clear about is, we okay, this is about the same example. I'll skip, because otherwise yeah, we need to understand explicit and implicit, or active and passive. Other words for implicit, explicit is active and passive. So what is explicit? For example, we make a call, or we share something on the Facebook, or we upload a picture, or we send a mail, or anything. Every activity that we are consciously doing, and we know and we remember that, yes, this is what I did, is explicit. So that is fine. That is okay, because you're making a conscious decision. And most of the time, those decisions are 99% of the times you are careful, you are you are not, you know that you are being keeping yourself safe. You're not writing anything which can be used against you, and so on. You take conscious, informed decisions. Those are explicit footprints. But then what about the other things which you haven't even done? You don't even know. Um, uh, it is a kind of bet that we are taking by using the internet, or the digital sources and digital devices. So even when we are explicitly sharing things or using the digital devices, we should remember we are losing some control over privacy. In olden times also. Now let us compare a Gmail and the letters that we used to post earlier. In physical space, when you send a letter, which used to be in form of an envelope or something, so that envelope you put into a letterbox. From there, it was supposed to be picked up by another human being, of course, in the sealed state. And then that sealed envelope used to travel to another town, another city, and then be delivered by someone else to the person intended for. There were many human agencies involved in the transfer of one letter from one person to another. The trust factor here was the seal, or the gum with which you had just stuck your envelope. If you know, or if you remember, there also used to be a postcard, a yellow colored postcard in our, post and telegraph offices, which was also used for writing letters. So those letters were the ones where we did not have anything to hide. Even if the postman read, or even if anyone read, didn't matter. It was a normal letter which did not have any private conversation. But if you wanted to have some classified information sent from you to someone else, you would opt for the inland letter. It was called inland letter, which you could just fold and stick with the help of glue or gum. There was as I said, in an envelope. So there are different levels of privacy. There used to be different levels of privacy in the mechanisms available in earlier times. The same holds true even today. The mails which you want many other people to see, you will send as CC to several people. And then if you want to send to many people, and there are provisions to keep your privacy, or keep the reach of your letter to one person or many people, or the entire list of people. There are group mails that are sent. So privacy is something that we need to understand. how far or how many people will have a look at it. But trust me, no matter how much you keep to control your privacy, it is up to the platforms, it is up to Google, it is up to Meta, it is up to Facebook, Insta, Twitter, and WhatsApp, these companies, how much data they, because all of it, they have all of it for sure. You can't hide the information from these companies. They will, at any point of time, if it suits them, they will use any piece of information that you have shared, including your pictures. So explicit is also not very safe. Implicit is definitely that part of information which we don't even know. But these big companies, they know. So the trail that we leave without doing it consciously, unconsciously or subconsciously, what we do, we keep switching over from one, we clicking from one reel to another, from one video to another, from one page to another, and just go on and on and on. Who is keeping a track of that? Are you? No. Who? But there is somebody who's doing it for us. And who is that? The companies. This is the data which was leaked by Facebook in 2016, I think. This was the case. And there was a lot of, halablu about it. And then the case against Mark Zuckerberg, he had to appear before the US Senate and all that happened. Where did we end up? Whether we remember that case or we don't remember that case, the moral of the story for all of us as users is that we still do not have any control. It was him whose control increased. He bought WhatsApp. He became the owner of a lot, much more data than than earlier. So the thing is, these companies, these people are actually, because of the advancement of technology, they are actually controlling our lives. The more activity we perform, the more control we are giving to other people. So the implicit is, yeah. So it is like you are sitting in the confines of your room, and then somebody is still watching you from the window. So the window is always open. People are watching. And nowadays, it is not even people, it's AI. So you cannot get rid of this. In offline, you can close your doors and you are private to yourself, unless there is a CCTV camera in your room. You are just doing things or working in privacy. But in the online world, the window is always open from where somebody or the other is prying. Now, how does it work? How is it dangerous? The one more aspect of danger is that connections. If you visit a place, post a picture, and on Facebook, or make a reel and post it on your Instagram account, what will happen is there are family and friends in the same picture. You tag them. Now the technology is tracing them. They link them to you. You all know that on Facebook, when you make your account, you enter the names of your family members. You also enter the relationship. You also enter, for example, your husband. You enter, or your wife. You enter the your date of getting married, date of birth, and all of that. All the data is used to, or those links that you have created. It's not implicit, it's explicit. You created those links and connections, and those connections are used to trace people in your lives and manipulate you on on taking certain actions, making certain decisions which you did not even want to. For example, FNP, ferns and petals. um, my brother lives in Australia, and since he has shifted there, since the year he shifted, in the first year itself, I sent him Rakhi on Raksha Bandhan using FNP. Now, every year, without me having to make any effort, it traces me, and it sends me the reminder messages that Raksha Bandhan is approaching. Yeah, it's time for you to send Rakhi to your brother, and sends me all kinds of lucrative uh, uh, proposals, lucrative ideas, and this and that. And every year I end up spending more than I had thought I would. Not that I don't want to spend on my brother, but yes, it's the company which is earning a lot. And every year, the cost increases, the cost escalates, because if first year I bought something worth 4,000, they know that she is capable of spending that much. All right. So this year I'm going to present something more lucrative. So something costing to the tune of 5,000, 6,000, all the high end, packages they will send to me. And this will go on increasing year after year. What is happening here is that between a brother and sister, what is more important, the thousands of rupees or the nice look of the package, or the bond, the feelings, the fact that that we remember each other on a particular day and we connect to each other on a particular day? What is more important? It's the relationship, the feelings of the relationship, not the objects. But objectification and commercialization is something that is being promoted here, and we are being taken advantage of in the same way. Now what happens further? So Rakhi is sent, and twice he has changed his address. So FNP will have all the addresses where my brother has stayed within Australia when he has moved, and all those data is now with them. And what happens is they are also, they have his number. So not just me, but they are able to trace him and give him certain offers, that see, your sister is going to send you Rakhi, would you like to send her a return gift? So now he's also being targeted. It's not just that, this is just one simple example, but everybody you are connected with through these social media platforms, through these through the digital agencies and platforms, will be tracked down at any point of time. And um, and uh, uh, yeah and anyone can be taken advantage of. So because of increasing commercialization, this is something that we need to be careful about. So I know I am telling all the negative aspects of digital footprint so far, but uh, there's no need to be scared of it. It is a part of our lives. The only thing is we need to be careful. Now there is something called scopophobia. What is it? It is an anxiety disorder when an individual fears being stared at. So in the online domain, when you are attending a meeting, have you noticed a lot of times we don't want to switch on our cameras? We Isn't it? We don't want to switch on our cameras. The reason is that in the physical space, maintaining an eye contact is a problem with a lot of people. But that, keeping that aside, in the online domain, when we are in the on a meeting platform like Zoom, like just now, we want to switch off our cameras because it looks like as if there are 60 people staring into my personal space. For example, right now I'm sitting at home. Now my home is exposed to 60, 70, 80 people on a meeting, or even hundreds of people if I'm addressing a big crowd. So this is increasing. This scopophobia is increasing. This anxiety disorder, people are getting more and more scared. Because of the digital platforms, because of too much of exposure to digital platforms, this anxiety disorder is increasing. We need to keep a check. Are you suffering from this or not? And I hope I have not scared you so much, but still we need to be a little careful, is all that I'm saying. Now, it is not just one device. It is not just my laptop. It is also my iPad. It is also my iPhone. It is also my CCTV camera. It is also my, all the devices in my home. All of them are collecting information about me. So the thing is that multiple devices, if we are using, and all of them are on the internet, they're connected through the same network. every one of them are capable of conversing with each other. So what you do with your laptop will also be seen on your mobile phone and vice versa. But so these are different kinds of devices. There used to be a time when each device collected different kinds of footprints, but nowadays it is all the same. Each device has grown or has come at par with each other. Most of them are now functioning at the same speed, at the same, same platforms are available from all the resources. So from all the devices. So every resource is available everywhere. Hence, a complex of digital footprints interchangeably available on each one of them is again a more threatening situation for us. Hmm. One statement that I want to make here is modern smartphones. They are more, dangerous because they are creating more intrusive footprints. They are the listening devices. They are the major listening devices. Not saying that, your laptop is not. All of them which have microphones are capable of listening to your conversations and what you're saying and transferring that data from one place to another. But your smartphones are smarter than any other device. Therefore, your footprints are more intrusive. They are more intrusive on the smartphones. Second, I'll get some water. So when we are using the apps, when we are using the devices, what is happening? Where is the control? The control is with the app developer. The control is with the people who are collecting the data. Now, one more thing that I want to add here is it's not just the owner of the companies which have created the app. It is also third parties involved, fourth parties involved. There are lots of people in between the developer of the app or the owner of the app company and you as a consumer who are getting access to data. It's just like your postal letter. When you posted it in the letterbox, the postman would take it out, take it to the office, get it stamped. So somebody was there, the sorter was there to sort it and stamp it, and then it would be carried to another place. So there were 3 or 4 men or 3 or 4 people who would exchange hands with their letter. So the same way here also your data is transferred from one place to another, to another, to another, shared with a lot of people. Many agencies will have access to it. Yeah, roughly I have explained all of this. Now, these are some of the sources in your hardware from where you can be, your location is to be found. Nowadays, of course, with your Google Maps and maps in general, we share location with each other. So when you are sharing locations, sometimes you do make that choice for a few hours or for a day or forever. You can share your location. So the all this information again is being collected somewhere. So IMEI, it is very useful. It is promoted by police department, especially that you should know your device's IMEI number so that once it is lost or stolen, it can be traced. Your SIM card, whenever you are in use, I don't know how many of you have this. The tracking is now available in our phones. If we wish to track somebody, we can, provided we get the permission. So, for example, in my family, me, my husband, my son, all three of us use iPhones. So, in iPhone, there is an app which helps us find my friends. So, which helps us to keep a track of each other since we are mostly located in different parts of the world. My son lives abroad. My husband is traveling most of the time. I'm also traveling a lot of time. So we keep track of each other in a way. It is very helpful. So because it is an international travel that we are mostly engaged. So different times of the day, we are able to track each other. If my son is not picking up the phone, and since the time lag is about 10 hours between India and Canada, I can safely first trace him. Where is he? Is he in his lecture room, or is he, in his in transit, or where? And then accordingly take a decision. So this is a good use of the device. It helps me to be connected with him all the time. It helps me to be connected with my husband whenever he's traveling. It helps my family, my entire family, to know my location, even if I'm not able to pick up the phone, or even if I'm not able to, make a call. They will know where I am, for all of us interconnected. But at the same time, this data collect, if used, if misused by agencies, outside agencies, it can become dangerous. So um, the the elements of your devices, which can help us in a good way in our times of need, can also be dangerous for anyone else. If it gets hacked, anyone else can locate my location, and can locate me at any point of time and plan accordingly if they want to harm me. Yeah. So when you're getting your SIM card, the ID that you use, there are chances of it getting, misused. Um, of course, we can't do much about it, but all you can do is keep a track of where have you submitted your a proof of your ID. So if you're submitting a copy of your Aadhaar card to the SIM provider, make sure that you remember which shop did you buy your SIM, where did you submit your details, and all of that. You have to submit, that is a requirement. You cannot help that, but keeping a track of where did you do it is important for you. I've already covered the pictures here. No, I haven't. So we tend to tag people, tag pictures to location, to people, and so on. So if you upload a photo of yours or make a video and upload it on Instagram or Facebook, tag people, then those are the connections which, if Facebook or the social media platform was not able to make, you did it yourself. Then the places, people know your location. Anyone who wants to harm you can track down your location and trace you down to a place. So these things may, some of the activities that we do. Why? Because there is a facility. We do it, unconsciously. We do it just because it is available. Let us make use of it. That is a wrong attitude. Make use of the facilities or of the features in your apps only if required. Only if you are doing it consciously will be for your benefit. Otherwise, it can be used in a negative way against you. How is this all this data leaked? In I have roughly covered this, that there are third party people working, collecting data. That is what data analytics companies are, how they are earning, how they are, deriving information about people, drawing inferences from your activities, connecting those dots. A lot of analysis is done. That data is fed into machines to learn about you, about your preferences in life, about your likes, about your connections, about the people who matter to you. People who you call frequently are obviously the people who matter to you. So that data gets stored, and that is how you are targeted in marketing of certain products, of certain activities and services. And that is how also the other people in your life will be targeted because of your activities. So your data gets leaked from your accounts. if you have not set this, manage the settings of your Facebook account or your Instagram account, everything is accessible to everybody. So as I said earlier, your data is definitely available to the company that owns the apps and third parties to whom that company has authorized to use the data. But other than that, general people from general public, if you don't want everybody to know about you, you can set the settings and tags to be used very carefully. When you are turning on your mobile, when you have to turn it off is all in your hands, and I'm pretty sure some of the features are well known to you. So how are people accessing your data, and who are the ones who are accessing your data? Here is a list. But for the theoretical explanation, this is good that device or smartphone vendor is accessing your data, and then app developers and network operators. Um, because you can see it on my slide, because it was in the textbook, and this is what the textual information actually should be like. Practically, this is not the case. All your data is available to the artificial intelligence features embedded in your devices, and all the devices have. So it is not only them, the list that you see on the slide, it is not only them, but anyone and everybody. The machine has all your data, and you don't know who the machine is friendly with. Just recently, there is a book published by written by not published written by Yuval Noah Harari, and I recommend that anybody who wants to progress well in life, who wants to understand what is going on right now in the world, in the geopolitics, in the technology world, and everywhere, and how to protect yourself or lead the safest possible life, what you need to do is educate yourself. So books like those written by futurists, he's less of a historian than a futurist. He's one of the most brilliant minds available, alive today. His book, then Rajiv Malhotra has also written about AI. We need to read those books, and what they guide us to do is protect yourself as much as, but don't be led by the suggestions of your devices. Don't be a slave to your devices. So limit your activity on these devices as much as possible. Of course, you cannot stop it from listening to your conversations or things which is the way it is intruding into your life aggressively. You can't stop all that. But yes, consciously, what you're doing, you can control. So in traditional computers, there were web browsers, and you could, do certain things and then log in, log out. In today's times, we leave we log into an account and we leave it there. We are continuously logged in. That also serves as a negative aspect. That also serves as a dangerous, point. So privacy settings may or may not work in today's times, but logging in, logging out is definitely in our hands. So do it. Consciously log out from the all the accounts that you have logged in, especially the ones which you don't use very often. We log in and we forget. So that is where the data gets leaked from. So any outside agencies, any outside apps or websites where you log in, please remember to log out. So how are we going to manage our footprints then? Is it easy? It is not. So what do? We have to put in three things: thought, effort, and time. We are so busy. We quickly move on from one device to another, from one web page to another web page, from one reel to another reel, from one social media platform to another, without thinking. अच्छा अभी टाइम है चलो फेसबुक स्क्रॉल करते हैं, अभी टाइम है चलो इंस्टा स्क्रॉल करते हैं. Even if we are not sharing, we are just looking at what others are doing. That is also, forget that. You switch on your TV. Nowadays, your TV is a smart one. It is connected to the internet. What do? You keep on flipping through the programs on Netflix or the movies on Netflix or YouTube, YouTube videos. You just keep on switching from one to another. So you want to know what is, even if news channels, you don't listen to news channels anymore. What do? You look for clippings, you look for shorts, you look for videos on YouTube. So what is all this? As you go on from one to another without keeping a track of what you are consciously doing, you're leaving footprints. So you need to be thoughtful. You will have to make an effort to consciously do it, not be a slave to the device. And your time will be required in, you need to invest your time in organizing yourself in those activities, not being led by the suggestions made by the apps and the digital devices, rather than make your own conscious effort, make your own conscious choice. Spend time in removing your footprints as much as possible, rather than wasting a lot of time in watching and listening to and doing activities which are immaterial to your life. So how can you make control your footprints to an extent? First of all, improve your understanding of basic issues. Some of the points that I have told you today, there is a lot, there's much more to understand about this than what I can explain to you today. But yes, a little bit of it always starts from little. You can improve your knowledge later on. Second is develop your basic hygiene habits. So in our personal lives, don't you take shower every day? Don't you clean your house every day? Don't you organize your table every day? We do. We organize our kitchen, we organize our home, we organize our offices, we take showers, wear nice clothes, and we keep everything neat and clean. The same rules apply to your digital activities and digital platforms. Number three, become a sophisticated user, not a ruffian. So, what is the difference between sophisticated and ruffian? A ruffian is somebody who just walks on the road without caring what other people are doing and what his actions or his way of moving around the road will affect other people. Drive rashly and walk away with, after hitting somebody and so on. A ruffian is that. Don't follow this pattern of behavior even on the internet. Don't be a ruffian. किसी को भी कुछ भी लिख दिया, कोई भी comment कर दिया, कुछ भी post कर दिया. Stop doing that. You cannot. You have to be a sophisticated user. Sophisticated is the one who is organized, disciplined, knowledgeable, and who is civilized in behavior. Not offending people. Try not to offend people. Try not to get into a brawl. Try not to get into a controversy. Avoid it as much as possible. What hurts me as a senior today is when I see little kids making obnoxious reels or presenting or taking part in such rough activities on the internet, which of course those videos and reels are available on YouTube and elsewhere on the social media platforms. It actually is painful. Where is the youth going? And I'm pretty sure in this group, although I can't see many of you, but there are lots of young people here. My message to you as a senior is that please don't become ruffians. You all are educated people. You come from educated families. Why are you being sent to be educated? Education means be organized, disciplined, cultured, learned, knowledgeable, and mindful of your activities. There has to be a difference between, no matter how much it is in vogue, how much it is considered as cool. कि हाँ मैं तो ये भी कर सकता हूँ, मैं तो वो भी कर सकता, how far will you go in life with that kind of behavior? Not very. Trust me, not very. And if you don't take me by my words, look at America. Where is it going? And I can give you a first-hand account of what is happening in America, because my son studied for 4 years in America, then 2 years in Europe, and now he's in Canada. So I can tell you the difference between what is happening in US, what is happening in Canada, and what is happening in Europe, and what is happening in our country. It is going, America or US is going down the drains only because of too much of freedom of speech, too much of careless attitude, too much of unsophisticated behavior, whether online or offline. So my advice is, become a sophisticated user in your real life as well as in the online or digital platforms. Then the last point is, find and use privacy. There are privacy enhancing tools. There is a very common thing which we all encounter, especially if somebody has been into research. I'm pretty sure there are teachers, you have been into research, you would be visiting databases, accessing databases. So on the databases there are cookies elsewhere also, but on the databases I'm mentioning because it is more related to the library and the scholarly world. When you search for your keywords in databases, when you look for information, there is a cookie setting. Um, you can make the best use of it. So some of the cookies are essential, some are non-essential. Make your choice then and there. Similarly, there are other ways, we'll just look at it in a while. There are other ways through which you can make your data private, make your data danger proof, inaccessible to dangerous people. So the first thing, as I said, improve your understanding of the basic issues. Basic issues, as I have already said this many times, informed choices. Don't be led by the choices made by the digital world for you. You make your own choices. Don't let the reels be suggested by or the videos be suggested by YouTube. It will suggest anything based on your temporary loss of control over your feelings. You may have looked at some video about Bollywood, and now it will keep on giving you options from the Bollywood. Once you get into that trap, what will happen? You will end up wasting your entire day or many days, maybe. So don't get lured by the suggestions. Make informed choice. I just want to watch a video on YouTube about, say, literature search. As a researcher, we all need to do this on literature search. You watched one video, then you found, okay, this was you watched for 10 minutes and you found that this is not so good. Maybe I should look at something else. Another video, you collect enough information, then you stop. There is no need to waste your time on going on. And hygiene habits means clearing everything that is unnecessary. So just as in research mode, what we do is, when we are researching, we collect, say, if we have to write one article, we would collect about, say, 70 to 80 documents. We'll download the references of 70 to 80 to 100, depending upon your topic and the scope. You will collect so much information, but you don't use all the 100 articles to write your own article, isn't it? Sometimes you will end up using only 40 to 50 of them. The rest of them have to be discarded. So when they have to be discarded, discard them. Don't keep them for in your drives, in your, unless you are pretty sure that this will be used in future. If you are not sure, it's just like you declutter your home. Remember, Mumbai houses are not big enough. You cannot, hoard a lot of things. So you keep cleaning them. You keep discarding unwanted things. The same way you have to do it in your um, uh, in your digital world. So where will you do the cleaning thing? Your accounts. So I have kept one Facebook. I have one Facebook personal account. I had one Facebook, professional account, and then there was one more which I had created, a page which I had created for one of the events. So I have not deleted that. Rest of them I keep deleting just to keep it as an example. So in my workshops, I use that as an example that this is an inactive page. I should ideally delete it, but I haven't. So what happens is a lot of unwanted people keep following me on that. So I do get those, notifications and messages that somebody, and I know everybody who's following me on that particular page is a dangerous person, right? So there are ways to protect myself. They may, follow me, they may get connected with me, but they are not, my personal information is not accessible to them as per my controls. So being mindful even about your unhygienic habits is important. If you've not cleaned up something, it has to be for a purpose. But make it a habit to clean up your accounts as far as possible. The data should not be, although, as I said earlier, once you upload something, the companies have collected that data. It is always there, but yes, it should not be as easily accessible from your side. From your side, you need to. It's just like, you lock your door all the time when you go out. You don't leave the door open, isn't it? But still, sometimes there will be people who can break the lock. That danger is always lurking on your head. People can break into your home and rob you of valuables. That is always there. But you, from your side, you do take that precaution to keep the door locked. The same way, keep your house clean, keep your digital platforms clean, your social media platforms clean as much as possible. Remove the unwanted data. Do not indulge in things which are unwanted. Then how do you become a sophisticated user of online tools? We start using services on the internet. We get so excited when something new comes up. So I remember when Facebook was launched, or it was made accessible, and as we came to know about it, we started using. The same thing has happened now with Chat GPT and um, your Copilot in Microsoft, and then your Google, what is it called? I haven't used it as it the Google AI platform. All these platforms, or all the new technological facilities that are made available to us, instantly we get lured and we get carried away in the use of it. Oh wow, ChatGPT can do this. Oh wow, this application Facebook can help me find out my friends from school days, and so on. But this attitude is the very negative thing, which leads us to disaster at times. There are default settings in everything, everywhere. Do not go by the default settings. Always open your settings page, make changes wherever necessary. If you don't know, take the help of IT people. Get knowledgeable, get informed about the new apps, about the new services which you use. We are already aware of the dangers of cryptocurrency, the dangers of in the digital world, what all is happening. So things like default settings are not just for there for your it is for the ease of the company, not for your ease. So you better visit them, make the changes necessary, invest your time, find out what settings are going to make you how much vulnerable. So reduce your vulnerability by setting bringing the settings to optimum usage as per your requirement. Then push notifications. For notifications also, you need to change the settings in your phone whenever you download a new app. Uh, Go to the notifications section and adjust them according to your needs. Don't don't allow all the apps or all the facilities to send notifications to you even when not required. Then there are lots of apps available which can help you to set your privacy or protect your passwords, and which can help you with, see, with as I'm saying this, it was actually very much useful until a few months back, but with such rampant growth in the AI, these things, as I speak, they are becoming more and more obsolete. But still, if you're not into AI enhanced apps as right now, you can still use, there are new apps which can help you in setting your privacy and making it less and less public, prevent your data from being leaked out publicly. So look for those. uh, um, some of them are here on the slide. You can search more. There are hundreds of them, trust me. So it looks very technical. It sounds very technical. If I say go to the settings, go to the notification settings, and this setting, that setting, I know it sometimes sounds too much of trouble. Oh my God, I'll have to do this. Oh my God, I'll have to, now before using the apps, I'll have to be very mindful. But this technicality of the apps, this technicality must be known to us. We need to make ourselves, familiar with them if we want to protect ourselves. It's confusing. Yes, it is confusing. Is it technical? A bit technical, not too much. Some of it we are already doing, but we need to be more and more careful. So instead of getting bothered, we need to understand a few basic things. First of all, managing your cookies. So you must keep checking browsers, your browser history for cookies. Go to the cookie store, find it, and remove the unwanted cookies as quickly as possible. Most of them, as I said earlier, will ask for cookie settings. Instantly do it. But there are many which you keep visiting, the websites which you visit, they will not ask you to, many of them may not ask you for cookie settings or ask your permission. If they are not, then in that case, you have to clean your own computer, because those cookies, some of them, some of the cookies they'll ask, some of the cookies they don't, they just push, they just sit in your computer whenever you access a website, and they will be there and send out notifications to you, or pop-ups and notifications and your data to the outside parties. So your browser setting has to be such that it blocks third-party cookies. It, if you keep the settings to, if you keep visiting your cookie store again and again, you will be able to make it a routine, whether every week or every third day, depending upon how much active you are on the in the digital world. Make a routine. Regularly visit your cookie store and remove the unwanted cookies. If you're not able to do it, take the help of IT professionals in your own organizations. All the organizations have IT professionals. You can, those who are working in organizations, I am requesting you, talk to your bosses, talk to your authorities, set an agenda for a training session conducted by IT professionals on these topics, which I'm talking to you about. If they're not able to do it, let me know. We'll arrange one for you. Then check your privacy settings, as I said earlier. Keep checking it again and again. Whenever, especially when you are in a new app or on a new platform. Then, yeah. So this is an activity which we could have done, but I think I'll be running out of time. So I'll quickly move on to the next thing. So we know now how the footprints have grown. We have seen so many things. Cookies sit in our computers, and privacy settings are not in place. Our passwords are not secure, or and the kind of activity that we keep on doing, all of that makes the digital footprint grow very fast. What is happening actually? So there are this at the back end, there are many parties which are at play. It's not between you and the app owner. It is an entire set of business which is set up, a network of people involved here. So there are some cultural implications which work at the hindsight, and the cultural means, you must have heard that apps like TikTok and WhatsApp, they are completely banned in China. They are they are now there's a certain set of apps banned in India as well, but they are functional elsewhere. All right. So what happens is these footprints, the data collected through our digital footprints by third parties or any company, what they do is they develop a cultural identity of a group of people, and then this helps in driving the businesses or commercializing into that particular among that particular community. All right. So they are using, remember, don't get into, there's no need to get into too much of complexity. All you have to remember is that all the data that is being collected is used for the promotion of goods, is used to extract money from you. Ultimately, the goal is commercialization. So your cultural perspectives will be affected, your commercial perspectives will be affected, your choices will be affected. And who is the beneficiary? The beneficiary is someone else who is just earning money. The goal of all of this is all the mishappenings is to earn money, to extract money by alluring people, by misguiding people, by taking advantage of the people who are vulnerable like you and me, who are not very knowledgeable about the technology, will just go on doing what the technology is leading us to. Why are the kids so much involved, and why are the kids becoming so commercial? They are demanding things which are beyond the purview of the parents to provide, and this is hampering personal life. Culturally, we are being affected, right? The relationships are affected, the households are getting affected. And why is it happening? Because culturally we are not educating our children or training our children not to be affected by this. And of course it is the government's fault as well, because they are making these things so openly available. But then there is another side to it, that people will start complaining, why is it that we are being denied the internet access and all that. But yes, so it is a complex situation. But yes, cultural implications happen, changes happen. If you remember, the first uproar regarding cultural change was the election of Trump in the last, not this one, in the last time when he was in the last term when he was elected. So when he was elected, it was said that the entire population of America was misguided, and how, with the help of Russian President Putin. This news was very big. And yes, it did happen. Russians played along commercially, played along digitally to affect the choice of the American president. So this came to light during that period, and it has become a mainstream activity on the internet. So cultural changes, yeah, our thinking, our perspectives are affected because of the internet activities. Then we are very prone to instant gratification. Instantly I'm getting something, so I will make use of it. So uh, for our own conveniences, for our own easy way out, we are becoming, we have been very careless in our activity on the internet. And that is a hamper. That is a drawback of the digital footprints, or the availability of so much intrusive technology around us. So we need to control our instant gratification instinct. जो कुछ इजीली मिल रहा है वो अच्छा क्यों है, ये आपको सोचने की जरूरत है. यू नीड टू स्टॉप एंड थिंक अबाउट इट. व्हाई एम आई गेटिंग दिस फ्री? Why am I getting this, so easily? Life is not easy. Life is difficult. Nothing comes easily. Anything that comes easily is definitely not right in the right mind. So you need to rethink about the choices that you make. If it is very convenient, you have to think about it. I would say the e-commerce platforms, the services which we get so easily. For example, your Big Basket and Zepto and all those delivery people who are delivering groceries at your doorstep. What is happening is they, after some time, not in the beginning. In the beginning, their services will be 100%, 120%, not giving you a satisfaction to the tune of 120%. But in due course of time, they all get commercialized. IPOs float हो जाते हैं, पैसा ज़्यादा important हो जाता है, profitability बढ़ाने के चक्कर में they bring down the quality of stuff that they deliver. Or like Zepto did recently, just a few last week I realized that now they have divided the entire thing, their services, into two parts, and there is a minimum amount in one of, there is one part where they offer the prices are very low. So what you're doing when you're ordering your vegetables or fruits, you look for the lowest price. अच्छा ठीक है, ये तो lowest price है. And in my experience, पिछले एक साल से they have been delivering very good stuff. So lower price है, कोई बात नहीं, I can trust them. And you go for it. But then there is a catch. There is a minimum amount. Now they want you to spend 1,500 rupees in every purchase. So you see, they are making money. Whatever these commercial whatever is happening on the internet, everything is commercial. Of course, we cannot remove them from our lives. हमें भी जिंदा रहना है, हमें चीजें खरीदनी है. We have to be, in the mainstream. We have to live our lives in the society. But what we can do is minimize the disadvantage to us, minimize the harm that is happening to us. Okay, to us and our children, we must be worried about our next generation more. So, convenience is something which we need to stop and think. If it is too convenient, why? What is the catch? Are we getting into a trap? If yes, then we need to stop. And also, do not get followed by, the herd mentality. Oh, सब लोग जेप्टो से मंगा रहे हैं, हम भी मंगाते हैं. That should not be the driving force. Only if it is convenient to you, only if it is, it is just that everyone else is doing, you're doing it, that should not be the case. जब आपको बिल्कुल जरूरत है कि हाँ अभी कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता, I need to depend on Zepto because there are 2 or 3 things which I need in an emergency. All right, once in a while I can make use of it. But you see, the more you use technology, it is harming us personally. You are sitting at home, getting everything delivered at home. You're not going out. You're not stepping out of your home. आपको sunlight नहीं मिल रही, आपको fresh air नहीं मिल रही, आपको लोग नहीं मिल रहे. You are cutting yourself off socially from the real world. You're not getting a walk, you're not getting an exercise. That used to be an exercise when you would walk to the local store, get the grocery, and then carry it to home. Then, arrange it wherever you want and keep it in the place. That used to be an exercise. It used to employ your time, use your time, productively. That was a productive activity. But because of convenience, we just sit in, coolly on our couches and keep ordering, and then the things come in and you're happy. So that happiness, that convenience, at what cost are you getting it? These, you see, now I'll tell you, okay, first let me finish this. No, at this point, I'd like to point out that, see, look at technology as an advantage, as a tool, as a resource. Don't look at technology as something which you can hog on. Oh, itna mil raha hai, chalo ye bhi. Itna mil raha hai, chalo ye bhi. There's no need to do that. Ye hai, this convenience is there. This technology is there. Okay, when I'll require it, then I'll use it. Not at the cost of your health, not at the cost of your physical, mental, emotional, psychological, spiritual, any kind of health. It should not affect you personally. So that is the main message that I would like to give you today. So, yes, eating food, which is Zomato is delivering food, and every food item that you order on Zomato, again, you are leaving a footprint, and they are definitely going to, the suggestions do come up when you open your app next time. So, you can use technology in your favor. Those are the negative points, but there are some good points also. You can use technology in your favor to build your personal brand. How will you build your personal brand? By the same formula that the companies use to fool you and push you into, um, uh, you know, um, into buying things or into opting for things, into making choices that they want you to make. Instead of doing that, you can push people into making choices according to your will, in your, sorry, favor. For example, you students or professionals, whoever is in the session today, it is applicable, this idea is applicable to all of you. You can use your LinkedIn account, your Facebook account, your Instagram account to grow yourself professionally, to present yourself in the best possible way, the best version of yourself, so that people are impressed with your work. Again, one catch is here, don't go for fake pictures. Don't be fake on your in your accounts or on the social media platforms. So now there is not enough time to teach you about personal brand. I will quickly stop sharing this, and I'll give you some activities which you can do later, and uh, just 5 minutes more I'll talk. So as I said, this the digital footprints that we are leaving on our platforms today, he we can use the same concept that the commercial people are using to promote ourselves, to build an image which is favorable, which is long lasting. Don't go for false narratives, don't go for fake dps. Pictures which you click from your phone are good enough. We are very nice looking people, all of us. Yes, you need to be hygienic, you need to be presentable, you need to be a little, respectable according to the profession that you are in. We are not film stars, we are not into glamour world. So there is no need to wear a lot of makeup, go to the parlor and click pictures in the most stylish way. Uski koi zarurat nahi hai. Be simple, be honest to your profession, be honest to your work, and accordingly dress up nicely so that you are comfortable and good to look at. You look elegant, and people are impressed by that. उससे ज़्यादा distracting हो जाता है. So your looks, the comments that you post must be well versed. When I say well versed, it means grammatically correct. आप हिंदी, इंग्लिश, मराठी, गुजराती किसी में भी आप मैसेज कर सकते हो, अपना टेक्स्ट कर सकते हो, कमेंट्स कर सकते हो, बट द लैंग्वेज हैज टू बी एक्यूरेट. अगर आप या इवन इफ यू आर यूजिंग अ वर्नाकुलर लैंग्वेज, उसमें भी रॉन्ग लैंग्वेज मत यूज कीजिए. मराठी बोल रहे हैं तो उसको टूटा फूटा बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है, या हिंदी बोल रहे हैं तो टूटा फूटा बोलने की जरूरत नहीं. जो लैंग्वेज, इंग्लिश भी बोल रहे हैं तो फर्स्ट यू मेक योर मैसेजेस करेक्ट. Grammatical corrections, spelling errors must be avoided. All these things have to be, proper. ताकि आप एक अच्छा प्रोफेशनल दिखे, आप एक थरो सिंसियर प्रोफेशनल की इमेज पोर्ट्रे कर सके. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. So use your, internet and digital platforms to project yourself as a thorough professional. That is most important. You will be identified by your work and nothing else. So that is my message to you. Build your personal brand, your etiquette, your behavior, your appearance, your grooming, your vocal verbal communication, digital footprints, all of that has to be in sync with what you are in real life. Don't try to copy someone else. Be the best version of yourself. Thank you so much for listening to my talk. And I hope it was not too lengthy and too technical. I would like to have a nice feedback and question answer session. So, do we have time, Ruta?
Yes, 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 ma'am, sure.
Please, please.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the informative session and how to use our digital technology safely. And the session is open for question answers. If anybody has any question, please feel free to ask.
Anyone has any questions, or
Yes,
should I give you some activities? अगर ये ऑफलाइन होता तो मैंने आपको 2-3 एक्टिविटीज तो करवाई होती. Do you have any questions?
participants, anybody has any question?
Okay. If not, in the meantime, you think of the questions. In the meantime,
Yes,
I'll give you 2 or 3. If you have paper, you can write it down. One is Google yourself. वो तो मैंने पहले ही आपको बताया. दूसरा, अपना Facebook अकाउंट का इवैल्यूएशन जरूर करिए. All right. So evaluate your Facebook account. How will you do that? Look at your last 100 activities. Last 100 activities will include the posts that you have liked, the comments that you have posted, then the shares that you have made, and what you have posted originally. So look for qualities such as relevance. Is it relevant? मैंने बताया ना, पर्सनल ब्रांड बिल्ड करना बहुत जरूरी है. So look at each of your activity on Facebook and then ask yourself, is it adding value to my personal brand, or is it taking away something from my personal brand? Is it positive about me, or is it negative about me? So do this. Spend time on all your accounts, your Facebook, LinkedIn, and Insta. These three are the main ones. I don't know if you're on Twitter as well, very active on Twitter. If you are, then definitely evaluate yourself on all these platforms. I think एक week का तो काम मैंने दे दिया आप लोगों को.
yes, sure, ma'am.
So evaluate yourself, evaluate your profiles, and then think about it. फिर Google करिएगा अपने आप को, अपनी pictures जहाँ पर जरूरत है वहां पर change करिएगा, like a professional, confident, assertive professional की तरह एक photo खिंचाकर, and then you put it up as your DP on all your accounts. Okay. So
Yes,
still no questions? There are some chats. Chats में questions है क्या? Oh, there are so many thanks.
no, ma'am.
Thank you so
Well,
much for giving me this
yes.
opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am, once again.
My pleasure entirely,
Uh,
Ruta. Nice meeting you. I'm meeting you for the first time here. Probably sometime
yes,
I'll drop by
yes,
and visit you in your college.
yes, ma'am. She would like to associate with you furthermore also for your workshops also.
Always welcome.
Yes, we will.
Always.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I would request Assistant Librarian Shravani Korde to give the vote of thanks for the session.
Thank you, ma'am. To begin with, I would like to express my gratitude to today's resource person, Ms. Ravija Srivastava, ma'am, for her insightful session on digital footprint for librarians. It was a very informative session where we learn how to navigate digital space while maintaining personal data safety, how to maintain our professional digital footprint, how to not get lost while surfing, which definitely I do a lot. I will try to stop it. Then, how to develop digital hygiene and how to use it to create and develop our personal brand. Thank you, ma'am, for this session. I would also like to take this opportunity to express our sincere appreciation to Gyan Education Trust Management for their unwavering support and encouragement. Especially, thank you to our degree college principal, Bhavika ma'am, for your guidance and motivation for making this FTP happen. I would also like to thank all the members of Library Committee for their tireless efforts. Your dedication and teamwork have made this a success. Once again, thank you, Ravija ma'am, for the wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you, Shravani. Thank you, Rutaji. And hope to see you
Thank you,
guys
ma'am.
some other time too.
Yes, yes, I'm sure. Hope we
So
will
I'll
meet
take your
soon
leave.
personally. Yes,
I'll,
yes, ma'am.
I'll
Thank
take
you.
your leave now. Thank you so much for
Yes,
this
ma'am.
opportunity. All the best to all the participants. Hope you'll do better with your digital footprints now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye bye.
Thank you, participants.
Thank you, ma'am.
See you all tomorrow at 4 p.m. for the last session of our FDP. Thank you.
Thank you. Feedback link.
Yes, I will share it in the WhatsApp group.
Link is not shared in the chat, no, ma'am?
No, I will just share, ma'am.
Shall we wait in the meeting?
Yes, ma'am. I will share the link in chat box and also I will share it some group. Just check your WhatsApp groups also, participants. Everyone receive the link from the chat box. Thank you. See you all tomorrow.